Hello and good evening, everyone. It is Friday evening, and we are live on YouTube and on Facebook too. Anyway, I'm Bev, and I'm here tonight in the in the xTool makers. We're here in our studio in Colleyville, and we are looking at the M2 from xTool, the brand new M2 from xTool. I am going to turn on the chat over here. And we're going to give it, hello, Patrick, how are you? We are going to give it a few minutes. If you're here, can you say hello? And so that'll help other people see that we're live as well. And when you get here and you join the live, if you will scan to win, we're on night 3. This is our third of 3 YouTubes for me on the M2 from xTool. So it's brand new, just released this week. And so I have been thrilled to introduce everyone to it. And tonight we are on night 3 of being live. So, and then tomorrow night we have Beth who will be here. I think she's here tomorrow, all weekend, tomorrow night and Sunday night. And she's going to be showing off different projects too. And so it's just really fun. I am loving the M2, loving the projects that we're doing. And so I just want to say welcome. And if you will just say howdy and tell me where you're from so that we can get started tonight, it'll be really great. Enter to win. If you were here before on the last 2 nights, those gift cards, whoever won those gift cards, those have been mailed out. Those have been sent. And so those are on their way. So check your spam, check your inbox. If you were here and you entered to win to see if you got it. And then tonight's winners will be emailed within 48 hours of the live event. So just FYI, keep an eye out. So it is wonderful. So let me know where you're from, where you're watching from, and let's talk about the M2. So the M2 is the new M2 color craft laser, and it is part of the M series, which are diode lasers from xTool. And this one it's the easiest craft laser with color printing. And it is designed for everyday makers, small business makers, Etsy hustlers, side crafters. If you make prototypes, things like this is the perfect laser for those things. It comes in a 10 watt or a 20 watt. Hello, Tucson SWG. I don't know your username, but anyway, hello from Tucson. Hello to Tucson. Hello, Missouri. Oh my gosh. You know, my favorite place is Table Rock Lake. I love Table Rock Lake in Missouri. So if you're close to there, hello, Becky from Wisconsin. And so I mean, I can guess where you're from. Virginia? Right? VA laser beamers. Is that right? Did I get it right? I might have gotten it right. Can't wait for mine, Wisconsin. It is, I have to tell you that, you know, when I opened the box, first of all, it was really well packed, and everything I've ever gotten from xTool has always been extremely well packed, unless FedEx or UPS or whatever had their way with it. Like sometimes I feel like they have kicking contests with my boxes, but very well packed, very easy to take out of the box. Super simple to set up. It is like truly like a gateway laser into the laser world. So if you are crafty and you are wanting to try a laser, or if you have other lasers and you're wanting to, you know, add different things, this laser is so good. Oh, thank you so much, Arlene. I appreciate that. And so, yeah, a lot of Wisconsin. So you guys, you're a little cheesy up there. And so Oregon, hello, Sue. How are you doing? I'm so glad you could be here for night 3. So we are going to just recap a little bit. My hair is like, I'm a mess. Recap a little bit about the M2. So if we have new people that have not been here the last couple of nights, everyone can see what is going on. The M2, when you open it up, you have a camera right here in the lid, and you have a camera right over here. You can't see it probably, but you can see that orange maybe poking up a little bit on my camera. So there's a camera here, and there's a camera in here. And so that allows whatever you put in the laser bed to be seen. And so I'm actually going to put in, let me see, I'm going to grab just a sheet. This is just nice photo quality paper that they sent with my laser, but I'm just going to put it here in the bed so that we can see. what happens, watch the upper left-hand corner. So when you put something in the bed, the light, it'll immediately come on and immediately show you what is in the bed. So once we go into the studio, we can have it measure and do all of those things, but it is going to scan it, look, lower it down. There we go, right there. And so then now you're ready to create a project with whatever you did. Hello, Louisiana. Hi, Jennifer. How are you? Sue, I actually slept late this morning. I didn't wake up until 7:30, which for me is really late in the morning. So I woke up and I was like, oh my gosh, I felt like it was the weekend. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that so much, VA Laser Beamers. And Glitter Minds, that's a great name, Glitter Minds USA. But so whenever you put something in, it automatically scans it, it updates the photo on your screen in xTool Studio. And xTool Studio is one of the easiest softwares I've ever used. It has the automatic creation system, and it is just really and truly a step-by-step way to create your projects, makes it super easy. Hello from North Carolina. Hello, Alan. How are you? And so makes it super, super simple to create things. Sorry, guys. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. I don't even know. This is like become a habit now. Every night I have the coffee to keep me going. But it is, whoa, I didn't mean to do that. I don't know if you could see that. But it's just an easy laser to use. It comes with, or you can choose, let me see, I'm going to change my graphics so I don't mess up. You can choose the base. The base is with just the 10 watt. I'm just going to take it out really fast. The 10 watt, there we go, 10 watt laser right there. And these are all, it's a swappable system. So there's a multifunction module, and then there's a closed view camera right here in the laser head area. And so you can swap it for the inkjet. The lowest price model though is only the 10 watt. And then you can go up and there's several different variations all the way up to like $13.99. 10 watt, 20 watt, adding the rotary, adding the rotary, where's the camera? There we go. Adding the rotary to it, adding the inkjet head to it. And inside of here is just an inkjet print head. And what I love about this, I had a sticker maker that was very much the same concept. Your ink and your print head are all in one. So if something ever happens that you get a clog in your ink, just replacing the whole thing, you get a brand new print head. So it makes it really nice in that sense that you don't have to worry about things like that. Let me see here. I don't have an xTool. I have a homemade lasers. That's interesting. I don't know if I trust myself to make a homemade laser. Hello, Zobo. Hello, John Mark. How are you? And so you have this and you have this. So 10, I have the 10 watt, 20 watt options, inkjet options, and the option for the rotary. So those are the accessories. There are not a drawing to win one. However, let me switch my graphic over here. If you will scan this QR code, there are 3 winners every night for a $100 gift card. If you've been watching since Wednesday night when I started this, so all of the winners from Wednesday and Thursday night, they have emailed out the gift cards. So they've emailed 6 gift cards from my last 2 lives out, and then they'll email out the ones that win tonight within 48 hours. Hey, John, how are you, friend? So we're happy to have John here. He is one of the sweetest squad members you could ever meet. So anyway, we have everything all set up, and we're going to go ahead. I'm going to put in the inkjet whoops, wrong one. I'm going to put the inkjet module in. And since we went ahead and put some glossy paper down, I'm just going to pull a file up and let's just print something so that you guys can see. And then if you haven't been here the other nights, while this is printing, I'll go through some of the things that we have made on the lives. And here we go. And I'm going to switch over to, I'm excited about this. I use my Cricut to print stickers, then cut an acrylic offset for my cake toppers. Oh my gosh. So you know what? I would not be good at that. I used to try to make, I used to do a lot of epoxy work. I love epoxy. Loved to make tumblers, loved to do all that. But I would try to, I have an eco solvent printer, and I would try to print my decals, and then I would try to layer them onto the acrylic and line them up. And I am hideous at that. Like, I am not good, and I would like ruin my decals over and over again. And so, yeah, you are. You know what? I don't think I've met a squad member that I didn't enjoy. So I think you're all sweet. So the rotary is unique, John. It is a unique rotary. Last night, if you go back on the YouTube channel and watch from last night and kind of skip to 3/4 of the way through, or like 2/3 of the way through, I went through the rotary. And if we have time tonight, I'm going to try to do one more on here. But it is different because the laser comes out. There is a little attachment here that goes where the laser attaches, and the laser is horizontal versus vertical. So it is horizontal to your tumbler. It is a very interesting setup. And then last night on my live, I actually messed up. I got ahead of myself and forgot to put my little guard on. But there is a guard right here that snaps in so that whenever you are lasering your tumbler, you will not be able to see the laser beam shooting out at the tumbler. So eye protection, eye safety, all of those things. So this is how it sets up to do the tumblers. And so if we have time this evening, I'll do another one. But if not, you can watch yesterday's, and then I'm sure that some of the other YouTubers, I'm not a YouTuber, I'm just a squad member, but I'm sure that some of the other YouTubers have made ones with the rotary. I'm not very good at the rotary. In fact, the rotary is very intimidating for me, but I think I'm going to like this one. I think I'm going to get the hang of it, and I think we're going to be okay. Let me see here. So we're going to, can the ink chart? So, you know, Patrick, that's a good question. I don't have that in any of my, I have like reams of paper printed out, and I don't have that in any of them. And I'm not sure what it would stick to, because it is inkjet ink, just like from your computer, like a printer you would connect to your printer. And so I'm not sure what you could put to adhere the ink to it. I mean, we've used gesso on some of the projects. I've used just Liquitex, just plain art gesso clear, because I didn't have time to order ink aid on the, so Virginia. So, okay. So, and then on the website, on xTool's website, there is a spray that helps promote to get the ink to stick. And in fact, let me see which one we have here. Right here. So I did test prints. One, this is just with the inkjet coming straight out on softwood, on basswood, so pretty soft. And then this is with the gesso coating on the wood, and you can really see the difference in the clarity of the print. So, oh look, I'm inside the cutout. Anyway, but so you could do this spray from xTool, or you could use gesso, but I don't know what you do to get it to stick, even if the rotary would work with the ink head. That would be interesting, because I'll show you in the drop down on the menu when we go over there. So it might work. Maybe I'll try that tomorrow, even though I won't be live. We're doing demos in here. If you are near Dallas, Fort Worth tomorrow, on the xTool website where there's events, we have in-house, in-person demos all day tomorrow, 10 to 1 and 2 to 5. Let's see. Maureen, it is so fun. I absolutely love this one. So we're going to go over here to my screen for the xTool Studio. I'm just going to back out for a second. I show this every night. I show this to every demo that I do. I try to show this to everyone I possibly can. When you are in xTool Studio, at first it'll show you any recent things that you've done. Then it'll show you new things that are on from xTool, some neat little projects. But then there is xTool Academy. It is on your left-hand side. And under the xTool Academy, there's software skills. This is where you can find maker workshops, different videos, growth, creative challenges, all sorts of things that are great. And so here, if you have, so they don't have the M2 listed yet, but let's say that we're going to just pretend the M1 Ultra is the M2. It will have all of the get starting videos. It will have all of the things that you need to get help. And of course, there's the dedicated Facebook groups and things like that. But there's also a software skills. There is maker workshops. There's a business hub. So, so there's just all kinds of things in there. So I really encourage you that if you are new to xTool Studio or you're new to any of the whatever equipment it is, even though I know xTool Studio, when I get a new piece of equipment, I try to go in there, watch the videos and learn from them. So just FYI, a lot of times people go, I didn't even know that was there. So I love to tell people that it is because I think it's great. So over here, we're going to hit auto mode. I'm going to tell it to stop. Start. Whoops, hold on. I have to tell it that we are printing. So I forgot to do that first. Okay, inkjet printing. I'm going to tell it to start. And now it's going to recognize my background and it's going to take a picture of my page. Now, if I wanted to, I'm going to slide my paper over just a tad bit so that I'm not in the no print zone. And so now we're going to retake a photo. And so now I could print the entire sheet if I wanted to. And I'm going to pick my material as paper. And I'm not sure what this one would be. It's very glossy. Let me see if glossy inkjet, self-adhesive vinyl. This is not, I think this is advanced photo paper. So we're going to say apply. And then now I am going to, let's see here if I have a picture on here. Let's just do our turtle. He's been good to us this week. I'm going to go ahead and pick my turtle and I'm going to put him here. And now the white's not going to show up because we don't have white in a CMYK inkjet head. But over here, it says inkjet printing. Sometimes when it's not clear that it's an image, when you have the multi-function picked, you can drop down and choose. So, but we're going to go ahead and print right here on this glossy paper just for fun. So you guys can see it. I love our little turtle. He's been fun for us. So it's going to generate our processing file. And then whenever it tells me I can do it, I'm going to press our button over here. And we're going to start printing. And while we do that, I'm going to come back over here to you guys and see what is going on. There we go. Whoops. There. I am also going to enable monitoring. There we go. And so we can watch it from the both angles. There we go. So let's see here. Looking for it. Hi. Hey, Richard. I am. Tonight is 3 of 3, and then we're done. I don't know when my next live is. I do know what my topic for my next live is, but it'll be with the apparel printer. And let's see. So, John, there is never a dumb question because you know what? I might just not know the answer, but that doesn't mean it's a dumb question. And so anyway, so guys, make sure you scan to win. And then let's talk about some of the other things. I'm going to just refresh. Some people are new, some new faces tonight. So the fun part is that we have printed on fabric. This is just plain old cotton quilting fabric. It comes in those little bundles, those little squares. Now, I was not able to wash it successfully. However, I was pretty brutal when I washed it because I really wanted to test it. But I think you could do something. And so, Richard, look at you. I don't have anything. They just told me this morning and asked me what my next topic would be, but I don't know. I don't have 5. They don't love me that much. All right. Oh, you guys, look how cute it is. This glossy paper is so nice. Look at this. Can you guys see? He's really turtly awesome. So this is amazing, amazing, amazing on the glossy. So And in fact, I might switch from the board that I had earlier for tonight's project to the glossy. We'll see. Then last night when I left you guys, I had a tumbler in there on the rotary. So this is how it turned out. I do think that I could go a little bit of either a higher strength or slowing down my speed because I would like it to be a little shinier metal. But we did laser. And so what else are we doing here? Oh, today I did try slate. This is my sweet dog Arlo, and ChatGPT had made a photo of him eating lobster one time because I just thought it was funny, wearing a bow tie. But that is he's my 5th child. I love this dog. We have 3 dogs, but this one is mine. Let me see here. And so it's a fire night. Oh, yay. I'm so glad, Richard. That sounds fun. It's a little too hot here for us to have a fire. So yes, exactly, Jennifer, right? Because you can just reuse whatever part of the paper that you didn't use. You're not having to waste the entire sheet because you sent it through and you needed 2 of them or whatever. So it's really, really good. So let's talk about tonight's project. It's going to be a little fun. And I think I was using poster board earlier, but I think I might just use this. Let me see if I have another sheet because I do want a little bigger. So I do have a full sheet. Oh, I have several of these sheets. Oh, thank you, xTool. So I'm going to put this in, and we are going to do a print and cut project. And last night when we were talking, I was talking about how, like, if you were looking for an Etsy shop and you were kind of crafty, and this was your beginner laser, there are so many things that you could do. Hello, Pam. How are you? Yes, the machine has air assist integrated into it. There is an air vent back here by the head, or by where the laser head sits, and then there's a hose back here. I have it connected to the air purifier, the smallest air purifier that is on the website. I think I would probably connect it to an AP2 or put it out the window as a general rule. So what is the learning curve from the M1 Ultra? John, I don't have an M1 Ultra, but the differences are this one doesn't have a blade for vinyl. So if you're going to do vinyl on this, you need to choose laser safe vinyl, and you're going to use the laser head to cut it. So it is simpler in the fact that there is only a laser head and only an inkjet head. You don't have the pins or the hot foil or the knife to cut vinyl. So I don't know that there's really much of a difference for the learning curve, except for changing which, you're either going to choose your laser or you're going to choose your printer versus having the option of more tools. So I don't think that it would be a very hard switch at all. I think it would be very, complementary. That's probably not the right word, but I think it would be easy to go back and forth. Purchase the M2 to add to my F2 Ultra UV. Oh, yay. That is great, Dean. I know. I cannot wait for the Omni to come out. I'm so excited about it. And I have my Wonder Press. So normally I lock my door. I'm in my studio. Normally I lock my door like when I'm live or something up here late, even though we're in a residential neighborhood. But I'm waiting for my Wonder Press. DHL says it's coming before 9 p.m. tonight. So if DHL walks in while we're live, guys, I'm going to have to sign for it. So the cameras are fantastic. Absolutely fantastic in here. So I'm going to come over here to the xTool Studio. I'm going to sell it finished. I'm hearing reverb, even though I turned everything off earlier on my phone. I hope that you guys can't hear that. So I'm going to open this up. And now we're going to choose that we're going to print, then cut. And now I'm going to click start. And I'm going to go back and choose my material. And I'm going to choose the advanced glossy photo paper. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up on my desktop. I grabbed these little cute pennant flags today on Etsy. Whoops. Let's see. I'm going to do, what should we do here? I think I like the America and 4th of July. So Now, these were made to be single-sided ones, but I'm going to make them double-sided. I'm just going to do this. Whoops. I always hold down that shift, and I don't need to resize. And let's see here. Now, if I can do this correctly, I hope I can. Reflect. Oops. There we go. There we go. I'm going to make these line up. And I'm going to control group. So now that this is one thing, because I want to fold it in the middle over my little stick that I'm going to put these on. And I'm going to make this just a tiny bit smaller. And then now I'm going to create an offset. And I want my outer shapes only. And I think it's okay to have a little white showing. So we're going to say confirm. I could change that to 0 if I wanted to. So I'm going to have that. And so now this, when I come in here on my print, I'm going to change this from engrave by changing my processing module. So right now my processing module is on my 10 watt, but I'm going to come down and I'm going to choose my printer. And so this will change to inkjet printing. And I can change my concentration if I want to, but I'm going to leave it at 100%. Now, if you were watching Wednesday night, the update, it was at 60% as the default. They've updated it to where now it's 100% as the default. So then now I'm going to change my vector, and I'm going to change it to a cut. And they don't have anything in here. However, earlier today, I was working on some little tags. And so I'm going to go ahead and use the... let's see here, cancel. I'm going to go ahead and use my settings. Where's my setting at? Let me change this. My materials. That's what I need to do. It is here. I think that's what it was. There we go. And so hopefully that this and the glossy will be the same. And now we are going to go ahead and process. And I'm going to print first. Let's see here. It is processing. Start. Now, and I could take this down. And I'm hoping that this is heavy enough that it's not going to fly up off my thing. I probably should have taped it down. But sometimes with the new stuff, I forget some of these things. Let's see. And I don't know if you could hear the click, because the click takes the little head off of the printer module, off the inkjet module that saves the print. Oh, yay, Barry. That's so great. Congratulations. Oh, thank you, Alan. I'm glad. So it is very, well, you're not really like a video, like this isn't what I do. So I'm trying my hardest here. I do want to show you some cute projects while this is printing that I did today, or that I was starting today. So you can do things like these little teacher tags, happy first day of school. If you're making little gifts, if you're making something like that, you could open an entire printable shop on Etsy doing things like this and the little paper banners. If you are a teacher, this could be integral to decorating your classroom, making print and cuts and different things for your students, projects. I mean, I really see this as such a user-friendly tool in the toolbox. Mine will probably go in my embroidery room because I think I'm going to dedicate this one to cutting fabric for my appliques so that I don't have to go to my P3 and I don't have to smell wood on my fabric or anything like that. I think that this is where I'm going to go. I think that this is where this one is going to go. So this machine is an amazing deal. I absolutely agree with you on that. I think it's an amazing deal. I think that it is a really great way to either add to your collection or start your collection, because let's just be honest, it's sort of like addictions, like whenever you start lasering and start doing stuff. But yes, so I did make these little cute print and cut tags, and I just used plain old card or poster board. I have a pack of poster board that I actually had because I was making fat heads for for some graduate students, you know, the little things that you put on the sticks, the popsicle sticks of their heads. And so, and I was printing on those in my UV printer. Let's see. So now what we're going to do here is on xTool Studio, it's going to tell me next. and it's going to want me to change my print head over to my laser. And so it automatically re-puts the cover, the protective cover on there. And so now I have my 10 watt. I'm going to snap it in, click it in. And then I'm going to, and I just realized that I made my flag, I think, reflecting it didn't do what I thought it was going to do because now the wording is backwards. But that's okay. We're just going to look at the front part and pretend that it's okay. The great thing about this was the template was on Canva, and so I could go in and just make a blank one to make these double-sided because I think they'd be really cute cupcake toppers or something for 4th of July for a barbecue. And so let's go over here, and I'm going to change out my graphics for a second. Here you go, guys. You can save either 50 or 50 off on the color print and laser version. There's so many different ways. So let's see here. Let's see what we got. That was so fast. I'm going to make sure that it cut. It did not cut, so I'm going to leave it down. I had it set for the other paper earlier, so I'm going to go ahead and change my settings. I'm going to say process again, and I'm going to go ahead and just cut it a second time. I'm not really sure how it would change my settings in the two-part like this. So I'm just going to go ahead and tell it to process again. I think it'll be fine. There we go. And so now we're going to let that process, and then we're going to put it together. I have some ribbon, and I have some either double-sided tape or some glue dots. And I bought these little dowel rods. They're probably perfect for cupcakes, maybe thinner for this. Yes, cupcake toppers. Hello, Bunny, my friend. It is a printer and a cutter, Bunny. It is combination. It prints with a inkjet print head, and then it cuts with a 10 or 20 watt diode laser head. And so it is so much fun. So let's see here. You can make cupcake toppers. Like if you are a party person, if you like to make party decor, if you host people or you do any sort of, book club, Sunday school club, kids events, whatever, this is such a great thing. So it processed on the second time. Whoops. And then now I messed up thinking that I could reflect it and it would be the right way. Sorry, guys. This is one where dyslexia definitely got me, but I'm just going to fold it right there. Now I'll go into Canva and edit this and make one side blank, but I didn't want it to be single-sided. I really didn't want it to have a single side. Let me just push that down, make it even. It's hard to do in the air. Let's see. There we go. And then I'm going to open up my little sticks. And yeah, so I know you guys, this is what's so fun. Like, I wish we were close enough. We could just craft all together, right? And that would be the best thing. So I'm going to take some double-sided tape. I also have like these double-sided little circle dots, but I think they're too big for this. But I'm going to take some and I'm putting it right in the crease where my stick is going to go. And then I'm just going to put some on the pennant side too. And then I'm going to fold it over very carefully. And now I'm going to use the good scissors, and we're going to just cut some ribbon like this. And I'm going to tie just a little fun accent on here. Glad you guys can't see my very serious tying skills over here because I am not good at tying. Let's see here. And then we're going to just trim this. There we go. You guys, is that not the most precious thing right there? Now, I really wish I would have gone and bought cupcakes so that we could have had cupcakes with this. Like, I would have just eaten the cupcakes. Um, Jennifer, yes, I am going to be at the Next Level Maker. I'm actually teaching a class. I'm one of the teachers there this year, and I will be teaching on apparel garment decoration and teaching the different ways that you could do garment decoration, whether sublimation, DTF, DTG, embroidery. It's not going to be in depth. It's going to give people an idea so that they, before you go buy a piece of equipment, you kind of understand what each process does and which one would fit your workflow. So I will be teaching there this summer. So I would love to meet any and all of you. So yes, I will be there. So this is one of my ideas is right here. And so this one would make a great cake topper. You could put it in whatever, party decor, party decoration, make it bigger. So it is a great event. It is a great event. And I'm going to say, if you're close to the DFW area, and even if you do not want to attend classes, the floor, what do you call that? The trade show floor is totally free. So you just have to pay parking at the Gaylord and come in, and you could totally come to the trade show and meet everyone. And I'll be at the xTool booth when I'm not teaching. So can I trade my M1? So yes, actually there is a trade-in program on the website. I don't know exactly what it would detail for the M1, but there is a way to trade up your machines. And I'm not sure, sorry guys, butter pecan iced coffee. It's my new addiction at 8 p.m. Sue, it is so much fun. It really is so much fun. Let me see. Yes, so many ideas on this one. Bunny, it is like the week before Labor Day. I should know this because I'm going to be teaching there, but I figured, and which I just want you guys to know, I am a last minute Lucy, and I have already gotten my Canva deck sort of prepared for this event. So anyway, just FYI. Okay. Big question was, can it cut acrylic? This has been asked multiple times over the last couple of days. The answer is yes. So diode lasers have a very difficult time recognizing pale acrylic, white acrylic, clear acrylic. However, it cut through the black acrylic like butter. 10 watts, we cut through one cut. I could not cut through the pale pink. I warped my board. I was going to layer it. I could not cut through the pale pink. However, there are diode friendly acrylics out there. You can buy them in packs. There's a ton of diode friendly acrylics. So I don't know that this is, it was off my shelf. So I don't really know, but this was going to be a happy birthday cake topper, but I was able to cut the black acrylics. So darker color acrylics are going to be able to be cut. I cut it in one pass with the 10 watt. So with a 20 watt, it would be much, much faster, much, much easier. Let's see here. What is the difference between the 10 and 20? So Brenda, that's a great question. So a 10 watt actually has, so on your laser, I'm just going to unplug this so I can show you. So when you have laser power, wattage, things like that, your laser beam comes out and it's like a spaceship. Imagine a spaceship and your laser beam is kind of spreading out like this, right? So the lower the wattage or the finer the laser tip, the finer detail you're going to get. So a 10 watt is going to be slower at cutting. It's going to be slower at engraving, but your detail is going to be better than the 20 watt. So there's not really a right or wrong answer as to which one you would want. So this is with the 10 watt. And I'm sure that with the 20 watt, this would probably be very similar. But if we were going into super fine, small details, there might be a difference between the two. So that is really going to be, so speed and power are part of it, but your detail work is also going to be part of it. So if you do something where you do a ton of like little tiny details, you make leather patches and you want intricate designs, you want a lot of little, scrolly things like that, then you probably want the 10 watt laser. If you're wanting to cut and do things like that, then the 20 watt. If you're going to make for example, party printables, gift tags, stickers. 10 watt is going to be plenty for you. It's going to do exactly what you need. So it really depends on what you plan to make and what you plan to do. I might say that I would buy the 20 watt just because maybe I don't know, right? You're going to still get great detail. You're going to still get all of those, but the 10 watt will give you a little bit of finer detail than the 20. And if there were, for example, like my 80 watt. So the 10 watt, I might, if I had something that needed a lot of detail, I might come in here and do it on here versus the 80 watt. Oh, yay. Thank you. Thank you, Sue. I hope you have a great evening. And so will you be able to buy a separate module later? So Jennifer, I think so, because I know that I think I saw it was pre-ordered for like August for the 3-watt IR laser. So I do think that you would be able to change them out later and upgrade later. I think you'd be able to buy that. So let me see here. What was I going to show you guys? Something. Oh, here. So, for example, like this wouldn't be really considered fine detail because it's pretty blocky, things like that. So those things will be pretty much the same. So Brenda, I don't know. I'd have to look. Hold on just 1 second, guys. I'm going to just switch something over here. We have these dang automatic Nest thermostats. And so at like 8 p.m., they go up to 85 degrees in here. And I have to go over and manually make it come down. Otherwise, I'm going to be like dying on our live. So white acrylic is going to be hard on any diode. But we could, look. Brenda, you can even message me. We can look and see if there's a diode-friendly white. I don't know that there is. So usually darker colors are the ones that diode lasers recognize and like. So the other thing that I want to show you guys is a project. Let me move some of this out of the way, okay? Let's see here. And I'm going to just grab a piece of regular old like cardstock. This is like scrapbooky paper. And I'm going to put it down right here. And I am going to actually put in my inkjet head. We're going to put that in. Snap it in. Close my lid. There we go. And then I am going to come over to my xTool Studio, tell this that it's finished, and tell this to start. Oh, it's initializing. So while it's initializing, I'm actually going to come over here to my desktop, and I am going to find my logo. Oof, you guys, I have way too many things in here. We're going to do this one. We'll pull that one over. Scale to fit. There we go. Okay, so there's my logo. I'm going to go ahead and size that down, and then we're going to delete that one, delete that one. I really should just start a new screen, right? So we're going to start, and I'm also going to come over to my desktop. Whoops. And I grabbed some SVG files. I grabbed these from Creative Fabrica. And let me see, which one do I want to do? This is going to be, I really wish they would label them. I want a necklace. That's the one I want. So I'm going to show you in conjunction with my F2 how I can make a product. And so I'm going to put this here as we want to just cut that. So I want it to go blank. And I'm going to put this, size it down. I'm going to just put, I guess put this at the bottom. The necklace might kind of cover it, but we're just in pretend land anyway. So now I have both of those together, and I'm going to move it over here, and we have it on print and cut. So here where it says engrave, I'm going to switch it down to printer and let that print. And then where it says cut, we're going to leave that at cut, and I'm going to go ahead and process it. And here we go. I'm going to start right now. And let's do this. This is going to be some of like my favorite stuff to do. Like I am just so excited about things like this, where branding, accessories, adding on to other things, it just makes a lot of sense to me. And so I've had a 20 watt, the S1, and a different brand 10 watt, and love both for different reasons. Um, it's really funny, Jennifer. Like, does it autofocus? Yes, Alan, it does autofocus. And so, um, you know, it's so funny because like we have a lot of we have a full studio here, and so like we have the F1, which is what I started with xTool. That wasn't, I had a CO2 laser from a different company, and I had we went from an F1, and then I think after that we got the F2 Ultra was our next um, of the fiber lasers. And then we got the F2 UV, and then we got the regular F2. The regular F2 is my favorite out of all of them. The UV, I love the UV I love the UV more than the Ultra. My son, though, loves the Ultra because he likes doing metal work. And I just love how the UV it's just so gentle on everything that it does. And I just love how it looks. But my go-to is usually the F2. My go-to is not always like the fanciest equipment we have in the studio. Sometimes I'm just simple. I'm just a simple girl. So I'm going to unplug this. I'm going to swap my head. And I'm going to put in my laser. Oh, whoops. Did not mean to do that. That was my fault. And plug it back in. Close my lid. And we're going to come back over here. And I'm going to say next, and we're going to start, and it's going to measure. So it's auto focusing right there. And then now whenever it's ready, I'm going to press the button and it's going to cut. And now I have not been taping it down. There is a risk when you don't tape down paper and things like that, that whenever the exhaust fan turns on, that you could blow your paper. So, if you're really doing something like it just blew out the little notch in the top, is like on a different part of the page. So really and truly, like if you're doing a whole sheet, I would probably tape it down, make sure that you're very steady. Is the UV out now? The one showing CES? No, it was scheduled for second quarter. The Omni was scheduled for second quarter. They made an announcement that it will be released July, August. It will not be on Kickstarter and is going straight to the website when they release it. I'm not sure what the delay was, but I don't know. I'm happy that if there's testers, they have people testing. They have Zoe on the Omni page, and she's in the actual xTool headquarters, and she's doing projects. So I'm excited. Can't wait for it to come out. So now we have this great necklace card. Now, probably a little small, but I'm just going to show you. I did this necklace on my F2. Oops. I guess it'd be helpful if I showed you the side, right? If I showed it to you. So it's all engraved. I did it on my F2. And then now I'm just going to put it on my necklace card. So if I were doing shows, if I were shipping products, if I were doing anything, I can make my own branded necklace cards. And then you need that little, they sell the little pouches that you can like stick on the back of these, but I could make this bigger if I wanted to, or fit directly into whatever, clear bag that I was using, or jewelry bag. And then you can make your own earring cards. You can make your own, all of those kind of things. So it is you're very welcome, favored. I do think that, I see in the Omni group, a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, they delayed it. I'd much rather a company delay a product to me that I haven't paid for than release something that then is going to be a headache. And so, I'm glad that they delayed it. If they're not ready to release it, they should delay it. And so anyway, but if you are looking for something just to help grow your business or to be crafty, the M2 is an excellent craft laser. It is made for accessibility. The whole philosophy behind the M line and some of the other lines is that it lowers the barrier so that it allows people to get into the crafting community, into the makers community, start a side business, do things like that, and be creative. And so I just really love it. Let's see here. What questions do you guys have? So yeah, so Whitney, it is. So Bev, maybe buy all the lasers. Yes, Jennifer, yes. Tell xTool that I did that, okay? Just teasing. So let's see. What's the maximum thickness you can cut with the laser printer cutter? It's okay, Quinch Spot. I want to say these names right. I really should be wearing glasses, but I don't. So the maximum thickness that you can cut is, hold on, let me make sure I'm correct about this. I think it's 8 millimeters, but I want to make sure that I say the correct thing. And it is, sorry guys. We've been doing this for 3 nights. You would think that I would know all the answers correct, but I don't because I forget them. Let's see, the max engraving speed, max height. I had it here. It was in my notes. I know it was. Maximum speed, processing height. Oh, cutting capacity for the 10 watt is 8 millimeters basswood plywood, and for the 20 watt, 10 millimeter basswood plywood or similar. And then for the black acrylic, 3 millimeters in the 10 watt in one pass and 8 millimeters in the 20 watt in one pass. So let me see here. Yes. So can the M2 do the same thing on that necklace? Virginia, no. You have to have an IR head or the IR module, the 3 watt would be able to mark it, but it's not going to be able to deep engrave. So on this one, my fingernail can go into the engraving, but you would be able to mark it with the 3 watt. So you would be able to do some metal pieces. You definitely would be able to do like dog tags, things like that, which you could already do anything anodized, like the ones that have the color layer, because you're technically just removing the color layer. You're not actually engraving metal. So yeah, Sobo, let me tell you, you can tell when a company does it and it's just not good. So I would rather wait. I can be patient with my pennies. Oh wait, we don't have pennies anymore, but I can be patient. What are the downsides in your opinion? So honestly, for what it is and the price point it is, I don't really think it has downsides. That's my honest opinion. Okay. I think that it depends on where you are, which is fine. I think it depends on where you are in your crafting journey and what you want the machine to do. There is not a one size fits all laser. That is why people have, an F2 plus an M2, or they have a P3 plus an F2 Ultra, or they have that's why there's not one thing that fits every person's needs and wants. And that's why, honestly, I had a conversation with someone today who came in to see the M2, and we decided that the M1 Ultra was the better machine for them. So I really think that the downside is only dependent upon what you're going to use it for. I think that for what it is, for what the price point is and what it is marketed as, that I don't really have a downside for it. I honestly don't. Let me see here. Does it only cut black acrylic? Dark acrylic, Lakeisha. So anything dark colored acrylic. So if you Google diode safe or diode friendly acrylic, a lot of companies sell diode packs. And I believe that xTool has one on their website. And so the diode head, the diode laser really needs like the heavy pigment for it to see it, for the laser to recognize it. I mean, even in my P3, I can't just put clear acrylic in my P3. I have to somehow remask it with laser safe masking because it sees right through the clear. And so, yes, that are not purple or blue. There are some, I saw a diode friendly one that was blue though, and I guess it was the pigmented. So I tried on pale pink and I could not, it melted it before it went through. So definitely not diode friendly on that one. But this one on the black matte, it cut like butter, not an issue at all. And so any idea if there is good compatibility with Lightburn? Michelle, I don't know. I know that there are people who use Lightburn in the groups. on other xTool lasers. I don't know about the compatibility. You can always just export an SVG from Lightburn and import it into Studio. I've used Lightburn, and I know that everyone has their preference as to which one they like better. I really love Studio. I find it easy. I find it intuitive. So you could just export the SVG and pull it in if you really love Lightburn. So L2236, you know what? I agree. We have a P3, which is a fabulous CO2. It is the best CO2 laser I've ever owned, and I love it. I absolutely love it. It cuts wood like butter. It cuts acrylic like butter. Like, it's a great big laser. But for me and what I do mainly for my projects, I do a lot of embroidery. I do a lot of things like this. These are the things that bring me joy. And this laser is one that I feel like my creativity, there's no pressure to create with this one. I feel like when I go open the lid to the P3, like I need a project. I need like a big project and I need to know what I'm making. But I feel like this, I could just come in and just kind of like dilly-dally and kind of just have fun with it. I could cut my embroidery appliques. It cuts fabric beautifully. Whoops. It does a great job cutting fabric out. And so I could cut my appliques out and different things like that. So I actually think this one will live near my embroidery machine and will cut all my fabric. Let me see. Can you use that masking on this one? So you're not supposed to use any, here, I'm going to grab a sheet of, so anytime you get a piece of acrylic, you should take the masking off. Masking is flammable. The brown paper masking is flammable. I think that this is what you're asking, Brenda. Even if you had masking on a clear or white, it still won't do it. I don't understand the science behind it, but it still won't do it. People have tried all kinds of tricks and things, but you really should remove masking before there are some laser safe maskings, but you really should remove this brown, or especially if there's the clear plastic on them, you should remove those before you laser for safety. You don't want to risk any kind of flame ups or flare ups, fire, things like that. And that doesn't, the putting tape over the acrylic sheets does not work, unfortunately. I think I received my M2 tomorrow. Is there something is a must buy to accompany it? So Millen, I think the only thing that I would recommend is an air purifier. So I have the smallest air purifier that is on the xTool website. I stole it from my F2 and put it in here. So you definitely need an air purifier. There is a internal fan, an internal exhaust fan, but then you have the hose. So you either need to put it out a window or you need a purifier to filter the air. Otherwise, you will smell whatever it is that you're cutting. Maybe if you're only cutting paper, it wouldn't be bad, but I could definitely smell it. I forgot to turn it on whenever I was doing the wood right there, and I could totally smell it. So I would not run it inside without a purifier. What settings for fabric? Maureen, I don't remember what I used, unfortunately. The settings were not in there and I had to just keep testing. I tested several like little circles and squares, but with fabric generally on my CO2 and my other lasers, with fabric, you want to cut fast. So you want a high speed because you don't want it lingering on the fabric. You want it to just, it's usually a quick cut. Plan on doing glassware as well as other products using an F2 Ultra. Can we put a rotary in this printer to paint the glassware? So I don't know if it would work the same as a CO2 to do glassware. That's a good question. I know that people use their F2 to do that. They either put the chalk paint on there. It does have the rotary, the system, so you most definitely could try it, but I am not sure. That's a good question. I'm not sure about the glassware. And so, yep, I would just vent out the window. And so you just don't want to smell whatever comes out. I mean, you don't want to inhale those particles. And so RE2, no, you need the specific rotary that is part of the bundle, because the laser head, pretend that this is my laser. The laser goes horizontally instead of vertically whenever it lasers. And so it sets up in there like this. And so it goes back and forth, or no, like this, and then the tumbler rotates. Anyway, so you will need the rotary that comes with it because of how it is set up. And that's why you can get in the depth in here that you wouldn't be able to get without having a riser base. Let's see. Hello, Beth. How are you? Beth is going to be live with you guys tomorrow night and Sunday night. So make sure you come back because Beth, I'm sure, has different projects and fun things to do too. Did I put heat and bond on your fabric? I did not put heat and bond on this one. However, anytime I applicate anything, my power a little bit. I don't applicate anything just without the heat and bond on there. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you for answering this. You can do glass. You'd have to paint it with tempera paint or water-based acrylic. And you can also buy the actual masking, the glass masking on Amazon or probably on the xTool website as well. So it comes with a rotary. It's an option. So Quench, there are different options. I'm going to post up this one right here. So they have different options of like the inkjet plus the diode head. But then on the website, I want to say that the one that has everything, like maxed out bundle, is like $13.99. And that's the 20-watt head, the inkjet, the rotary, and the machine. I think that that's what is in that top tier bundle. And so the prices are going to range depending on what you bundle in there. So you can get the rotary as part of the bundle though on the website. And let's see. So correct, Jennifer, that is correct. Anything other than a UV laser with glass or using sandblasting creates microfractures in the glass. And so that's why it's kind of rough. You have to be really careful. You don't ever want to rub your fingers over something that has been lasered like that, because you can get little micro cuts in your fingers. So, oh, yay, Beth. I didn't know you were doing a live over there. And so let's see. I'm not seeing who asked about the glass, but I should be getting the rotary, and I'm an M2 tester. So good. So Virginia, yeah. So just be really careful. You know, UV lasers are really the ones that are meant for glass and sandblasting. People do glass all the time in the other lasers, but it is one of those that you need to be super careful with. Lee's Creative, you're so welcome. I think that, oh yeah, I definitely think that this would speed up, and I really do think it's great for art projects, crafting. I mean, it's just really, I don't know. I love this laser. I'm thrilled with it. When xTool said, you know, we want you to test this out, see what you think, and do what you can do with it, I was like, yeah, this one's fun. This one is really fun. So anyway, guys, what other questions? Anyone have questions for me before we sign off for the night? And you know, I'm so sad the DHL guy didn't come during our live. That would have been fun, right? To get the Wondercrest during the live, but I guess maybe he'll come. I don't know. Does DHL come on Saturdays? I probably won't get it till Monday now. But what is the shipping lead time on the M2? From what I understand, they are ready to ship. So I think 3 to 5 days before they ship out of the warehouse, maybe. So pretty fast. I'm seeing people say that they're like got. Let me see here. Someone's moving my screen around. That wasn't me. But let's see here. What I just made a great project in it today. Oh, good, Beth. I'm so glad. And so anyway, guys, make sure that you scan to win the gift card, register to win the gift card. We had 3 winners per night, Wednesday night and Thursday night. And then those winners have already been emailed out their gift cards. So watch your email, watch your spam folder. And then whoever wins tonight's gift cards, they'll be emailed out within 48 hours. So make sure that you are registering to win. And anyway, I am going to sign off for this evening, I think. I'm going to give it just a few more like laps, see if anyone else has any questions before I officially sign off. And but I am so happy that you guys have hung out with me for 3 days straight. And it was, you don't get points, but they just posted today that it's available in something like 30 micro centers across the US. Oh, wow. We have a micro center. I think we have a micro center. That's where my computer is from. We have one in Dallas. Oh, user, that is awesome. That is so good. Yes, Richard, I am still here. You cannot get rid of me. I'm like a fungus. Cindy, I can't wait to see you tomorrow. I don't remember if you're coming morning or afternoon. If you are in DFW, we are doing an event here in the studio for the M2. It is on the xTool website. If you go under the events tab, you could register. And I'd love to see everyone here. We have a 10 to 1 spot and a 2 to 5 spot. Right there for the raffle, Lee's Creative Heart, if you scan that QR code and then enter your email address, that is the entry to win. You're so welcome, Favored. And so, Virginia, thank you. You're welcome. Let me see. What material did I use for the necklace card? It is just very simple. Whoops, I bent it. This is just like cardstock. It's like, you know, like you get at the hobby store. It's just plain old cardstock. And, you know, the settings I need to work on because it's a little strong. We don't want char, but this is one of those things. And I'm going to tell you, anytime you get a new machine, test, 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 test. I hear people say all the time, I don't want to waste materials. I don't want to waste materials. You're going to waste materials either upfront or in the middle of a job. I mean, you're going to waste materials at some point. So set aside some time, set aside a few extra things. There are things like this that literally, because it's messed up, I'll turn it over and print on the back. I take my mess ups and like this tumbler that I don't really love how I did it. I don't love that it came out so small. I will end up engraving all over this tumbler before it's done. Don't be afraid to test. Don't be afraid to waste things. We get so like worried that we're going to waste something. The only way to really master a new machine is to go in there and dig in, test your settings, try things out and see what works. Oh, Jennifer, thank you so much. I appreciate that. You're welcome, Maureen. You're welcome, Patrick. Have I tried to cut HTV vinyl yet? Rico, I have not because I don't have any laser safe vinyl here in my studio. So I don't have any laser safe HTV. So I did try to print. I had some holographic safe 651 type vinyl and I tried to print on it, but I couldn't print on it because it was too glossy. So the inkjet just kind of like slid off of it. So I never tried to cut it. But I'm sure that it would be cut just fine because everything else, sticker paper is cut just fine, things like that. Let me see here. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Arlene. I don't know what day they're going to have me do the next live. The next live, though, I think we are going to be on the apparel printer. And what setting did I use on the paper? Let me see here. I played around with settings earlier today for these little gift tags that I did. And this was at 45 power, speed 18. But honestly, the speed needs to go up because I got char on there. And you don't want to have char on anything that you send to a customer. So I'd probably increase my speed. I need to do a little testing on some cardstock and just make some circles and see what happens. Let me see. Oh, yay, Lee. I hope you win. Hope everyone wins, but only 3 people can. But anyway, I still hope all of you win. Let's see. Oh, good, Beth. I'm excited about that. And keep a craft journal. Yes, 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 yes. Keep a craft journal, or I am a big Google Drive. I keep spreadsheets on everything. Now, my spreadsheets aren't like if you're a spreadsheet person, they are not for a spreadsheet person, okay? But they're a very good way for me to make notes and like keep things straight. But I do have spreadsheet things all over the spreadsheet, so it's not really like a true spreadsheet. It's more like a graph paper spreadsheet, but it works for me. So yeah, you need to keep your notes, keep your testing, keep your settings. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate it. Oh, Christopher, thank you so much. It was fun hanging out with you guys, and it's been a fun 3 days. So tomorrow is day 4 of the M2 for me, and so we'll be here, though. We won't be live. We'll be in the studio, and Beth will be live with you tomorrow. And and let's see, spreadsheets are live. I don't know that spreadsheets are live, but they definitely keep me organized. Lasering on 3D printed items. Yes, actually I do, Millen. So we have, so we are a demo room. We're a squad room, right? So people make appointments to come in and test out equipment. So we have someone local to us who actually 3D prints these exercise things. They're like specialty things. He has a whole business that he sells these 3D things. I don't exercise, so I don't really understand what they are. But he's a great guy. And so he wanted, his name is Hypertrophy. He's on Instagram. So he wanted his 3D items to be lasered. So we tried the F1, we tried the F2, we tried the F2 Ultra. It would just melt and the little legs inside the 3D printed things would just break. When we got the F2 UV though, I messaged him, he made another appointment, he came back, and the F2 UV, it lasers on 3D printed items like, I mean, beautiful. Like, I mean, I can't even tell you how beautifully it almost looks like it prints. It is gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. So we tried every different way to do it. Everything else melted the PLA, but the UV did not. And it just really, I mean, like, and which makes sense though, because industrial and hospital settings have used UV lasers to mark the plastic things for years, for decades. UV lasers have been used in manufacturing. So it actually makes a lot of sense that it could do the 3D printed objects. And it raises it up. It doesn't even look like it's lasered. It looks almost like you 3D printed on top of the 3D print. So a UV is the way to go there. So you're very welcome, Millen. Oh, Cindy, oh, thank you so much. You too, Richard. I hope you're enjoying your fire. And so don't leave us to do more. Christopher, I have to be up and ready for all of my friends to come visit tomorrow. I cleaned a lot of the studio today, but now I got to clean this. And so yay, Quinch. Oh, thank you, Dean, so much. Well, you guys have a wonderful Friday evening. Be safe and be blessed. And I will see you the next time xTool invites me to do a live. Bye now.